بالميامين هداتي من بني هاشم بخاتم النبيين أخي الوحي أبي.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Hadi TV's The Great Trust. Our topic of discussion has been proper child upbringing. And so far we have discussed the points to bring up children in a proper way using the Quran and Ahlul Bayt and the Ahadith from our prophets and Imams. And what better than to follow the instructions of the one who himself has given us this great trust. In our discussion so far, our alima enlightened for us the need for love and respect in the first 7 years of the life of the child. And last week we discussed some brief points on the ways to show our love to our children, the ways of expressing love to our children. And you will be able to help me out with those points. And some of them were calling them out with beautiful names, addressing children using beautiful names, and being first in saying salam to them, or giving them importance in gatherings, and loving them by showing them our love by kissing them frequently, hugging them, and by respecting them. To learn further on this topic, we will invite our alima, Razia Badul Najafi, to our studio. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Thank you so much again, and I just revised for our viewers some of the points that we discussed last time in terms of showing love and respect to our younger children from ages 1 to 7. And without further delay, we'll like to ask you some more points on showing love, because I came across this very astonishing hadith from the saying of our sixth Imam, which says that due to one's extreme love towards their children, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows special mercy on his servants. So what is this extreme love that the Imam is talking about? We know what love is, and everybody loves their children, but what is this extreme love? Can you please give us some points on what this actually means?
Yeah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Really, Zahra, it was, this showing affection and love, it's very, very essential point in parenting. That's why we can say nothing, any other, act or thing we can't replace in place of the love, and the only most important thing, by which we can achieve the calmness and happiness to, our children is the love. Only love can bring them the true
positive effects in the child.
Definitely. That's why it's so many ahadith, as you have mentioned, one hadith. We have so many ahadith, like even about Prophet Musa, that when he was in the Tur, mountain of Tur, he asked to Allah that, oh Allah, which act is the best according to you? So what was the reply of Allah? The reply was so amazing that Allah, he's saying to his prophet that hubbul atfal, loving children, is the best, act according to my Allah, arhamur rahimin. So, but we as a human being, we are the ordinary people. We never ever think that giving and showing our love and affection, it would be one of the,
the best in front of Allah.
Yeah, and ibadah,
Right.
I don't think so really people do, sit with their children and give them time and showing, show the love to them by thinking that, this is, I'm doing ibadat and I'm spending my time in the very, precious way. But we think that we are sometimes, that's why I say this hadith a lot to my students, that, whenever we come back from I'tikaf, and from when after ibadat of Laylatul Qadr, a night of Qadr, we say to each other, taqabbal Allah, may Allah accept your amal. So but we don't say when and we don't feel that when we sit with our children and we spend time with them, we never feel that we have done a big task, ibadat. So definitely, not only Prophet Musa, even we can see about our Prophet, like how much emphasis he's giving about showing an expression of this love. Like one hadith, he's saying that Inna Allah laysa yaghzabu li shay'in ka ghadabihi lin nisa'i was sibyan. Like Allah, cannot tolerate if there is any kind of oppression and zulm towards children and women. Like their issue is very important in the eyes of Allah. Like he never ever gets angry to anything compared to this issue of women and the children. So why? Because Allah is in other hadith, Allah says, I'm araf, I'm more rauf, more mercy, I show more mercy towards like children and towards women. So then again, like our Prophet is saying, so many hadiths we go quickly, that rahimallahu man a'ana waladahu ala birrih. Rahima Allah, so many times our Prophet has used in his sayings, that which shows so much, again, emphasize and ta'keed and importance of the topic. Because a Prophet is saying Rahima Allah means may Allah send his mercy, but because in Arabic it is the tense of past tense.
Okay.
So past tense means a Prophet is giving this information, like it has done, like it is indeed Allah has
shown mercy.
Allah has showered his mercy. So Allah has showered, now Prophet is giving the news, like jumla khabariya we say. But if, otherwise if we say yarhamu, this is out of hope, like inshallah Allah will send his mercy by this your action or amal. But here Allah is saying rahimallahu man a'ana waladahu ala birrihi. So how the narrator, he's asking that qultu kayfa yu'inuhu ala birri, how I can help, like the Prophet is saying may Allah blessed on the person who helps in good deeds to his child. So Prophet is saying rahimallahu man a'ana waladahu ala birrihi, may Allah send his mercy on the person who helps his child to do good deeds.
Okay.
So here the the narrator is asking how we can help. So he said yaqbalu maysura wa yatajawaz an ma'sura wa la yurhiquhu wa la yakhraqu bih. Because we are discussing about 0 to 7, that how we should show our respect and affection towards our child and be very, very kind with them. So here a Prophet is saying be take easy with them, like don't be very strict, harsh. Yaqbalu maysura, whatever little they do, accept it. Don't be very so much strict
picky
with them.
about what they do and
picky,
what they don't.
Definitely. Like sometimes some mothers, they have told me that when first time we read some books, like especially it's very famous about British discipline, how much they are very
particular about disciplinary issues.
About timing. So she was telling me that I was so particular about like sleeping times and other times, so then after when my son becomes in teenage, when he came in teenage, he showed that how you were so strict with us and you never ever compromise with us. Sometimes we are human being, we are not a machine, like
all of us need that right?
So we should accept their like little or small jobs and whatever efforts they do. وَيَتَجَاوَزْ عَنْ مَعْصُورَ, and whatever if they do some kind of mistakes, we should forgive it, and compromise we should do. So Zahra, a Prophet is saying la yurhiquhu, do not belittle them, and how much we do. Last week I was in somebody's house, and really I was literally my in my heart I was crying. And again, because nowadays we are doing this topic, and I'm reading more and more about this topic. So I was going again, and on my way I saw, again one mother was, shouting on her very like 6-7 years child. And because when I went to somebody's house, I was a guest, and they were giving me respect and everything. They are again neglecting, and sometimes they are making them very low in front of me. So I was feeling so bad and uncomfortable, and I was remembering all these ahadith, and I discussed, alhamdulillah. But when I saw in outside of the like on my way, I say this is each and every minute how many qatl nafsani is going on. Qatl nafsani means that murder of the soul, and that respect and that skills. So Prophet is saying, do not belittle them, and nor call them silly. Like, look, la yakhruqu bih, how much, how clearly he's saying we don't have any right to say you don't know, you are silly on these kind of things. Strictly our Prophet has been forbidden from doing this kind of actions. So now these are the saying of Prophet. Like again, this saying akrimu awladakum wa ahsinu adabakum is so common, and so many times our Prophet has said that respect your children and talk to them with manners, with respect. So but we can see in his character and his beautiful like uswa and this role model, which alhamdulillah we have, that how much he himself yes.
So this hadith of the Prophet that you mentioned, Alima, is that you should address the children with respect, give them love all the time. So I think it's like a cycle. If you give them love, or if you call them out with respect, in the future they will repay what they have learned. They will again address you with respect, and reply you with love.
Yes.
So it's like a cycle of life.
Definitely, yeah. That's why hadith always saying that's why 0 to 7 the love is very essential. Yeah, because the 7 to 14 we need their obedience.
Right.
We need it. So definitely this love is not only just for need of them, just we are not satisfying them, but also, as you have said, that they will get prepared for the next step. And automatically, like it is the nature of insan, we say al insanu abidul ihsan. The only way through which we can win the submission of the person is through love. Only this is the way. And that's why how till now people are without, even we have not watched our Prophet by this physical eyes, but we love him, but we we respect him, we have complete submission towards him. Why? Because again, because of his respect and love which he showed for us. And we have so many hadiths which say that how much he was worried about us as this nation, this ummah. So and his so many we have like proofs in history that how he used to show love and respect towards the child. Once I want to tell you, which really amazed me, and the tolerance and the sabr which our Prophet, he mashallah he had, and we should follow it, is that in that time people used to bring their children to prophets for taking dua and for naming them, like how nowadays we take to ulamas.
Right.
Whenever parents, they used to bring their child, it was our Prophet character that he would take the child in his arms, not just in the arms of the parents, and he used to put his hand and name them and
bless
go
them
and bless them. No, he used to show that love and respect. And literally riwayat and hadith says that parents used to get so much glad and happy by watching that Prophet himself is taking
wanting
their children,
to take the child himself.
child. And Then the amazing point is here, Zahra, that sometimes the child would wet the prophet's clothes, and the prophet's clothes used to become wet, najis. But when the parents, they would scream and shout, and used to say, stop wetting prophet, then prophet used to say, no, don't shout and scream in front of the child, and don't stop him from this job, because psychologically he knows that it is harm, it has harm for child. So let him finish his job, and then after that, very calmly, very gently, he used to name and used to pray, and he used to give back the child, and he used to go and wash himself. So look at the beauty of prophet's action, this kind of sabr, and
that no action is there to harm the child's psychology or feeling, even at that young age when the child is just a newborn, right?
Yes. So we have another even beautiful hadith about Fazl. Like he was.
Sure, okay, Alima, sorry, but we'll just have to take a very short break, as I think it's time up and the break needs to come. But we'll continue the story of Fazl after a short break, so do stay in tune, our viewers. Assalamu alaikum once again, our viewers, and we'll continue with our Alima's story that she was telling us about Fazl.
Yes, again, the Prophet, when according to this hadith, when a child was in his arm, and again he did, Prophet's clothes wet, and Fazl, she came to,
take the child away
very like harshly. So Prophet, what he's saying, mahlan ya Fazl, stop. What you are doing, your action is completely wrong. Why? Because al-ma'u mutahhiruha, water can easily purify this najasa and this wetness. فَأَيُّ شَيْءٍ يُزِيلُ هَذَا الْغُبَارِ, which can remove this stain of fear from the child, heart of the child. Look at again, the psychology and the hikmah and
the importance that it gives to the psychological state.
That's why I always, I love this hadith, and I apply it in each and everything. Like I compare all material things with spiritual things, like for example, a child, if has she or he has a broken some very maybe
flower
precious
pot or anything in the house,
so you can buy it, it has something replaced,
it can be replaced, right?
But that fear, that your angerness, that shout, that nothing, even in house between husband and wife. So this hadith is giving us beautiful impact that how we can apply in each and step in our lives very easily. That there's no comparable with that building of soul,
the confidence of it. So this was all about how to treat children with respect, and not to belittle them or to hurt them when they're in a process of doing something. Okay, Alima, we would like to have some more incidents from the Prophet's life, because obviously his life is the best example for all the people, right? So if there are more stories, we already heard 2 from his, but if there's more from his life, so we can follow, because his example is alive till the day of judgment, so definitely it has message for us.
And look, like how we say, and we said before, that one of the main factor and cause for successing his mission and his spreading Islam was again this kind of akhlaq manner, and this showing love and respect.
And I think the major part of his akhlaq was towards the children as well, and the way he showed, because we have stories of how he used to be the first in saying salam to the children, not usually to the older people, but to the children. We have more stories, more examples how he used to treat children.
Absolutely, yes. And for even with children and with others. So because if we want to follow our Prophet's character, so we have to be kind with everybody, then automatically we will be more kinder with our children. Like again, I don't have any other beautiful wording to show my expression about Prophet's seerah and about Prophet's character, that how much he was sensitive about showing the respect and love towards even normal people. Yeah. And here he's saying that, you know, one day Prophet was sitting alone in the mosque, and a man came into the mosque, and he moved a bit, and he gave the place to him. So that man was so astonished, and he said that nobody was sitting here, and there was so much place, so why you have given me place and you have moved a bit? And so then Prophet said, this is the right of Muslim on other Muslim. إن حق المسلم على المسلم إذا رآه يريد الجلوس إليه أن يتزحزح له. So beautiful. Like nowadays, even we don't even, you know, give this much reaction and respect for sometimes for our parents. So but Prophet is saying Muslim, just Muslim, not mu'min, not relative, not child. So he is showing this kind of respect. And then sometimes what he used to do, كان يكرم ما يدخل عليه حتى ربما بسط صوبه ويؤثر الداخل بالوسادة التي تحته. It's so amazing that he is the Prophet of Islam, but whenever, you know, the newcomer, you know, the person who's entering his house or in his room or in mosque, he used to spread his cloth, his abba, under that person, not just for Ahlul Bayt or just for Panjitan or just for her daughter or her grandson. No, Riwayat is saying, Hadith is saying, just for, you know, whoever, just for respect of the Muslim, you know, and human being and mankind. And يؤثر الداخل بالوسادة التي تحته. Even he used to give his pillow, you know, he was recline on it, but he used to give his pillow to
the other person, to just show of respect.
Yes. So this is just for ordinary people. And you know, sometimes we have so many problems, especially during, you know, majalis, and we have when we have this public gathering, you know, we keep saying, please a bit move, and they don't want to move. They feel a bit, you know, uncomfortable. Why we should go? But now I want to say that we should do all this. We should, you know, adopt all this beautiful character. Very small examples,
small
very important. We should do it with qurbatan in Allah, and with, you know, following the seerah. It is mustahab. Even moving is mustahab. Even we have in Surah Mujadila, they said if you give the place to people, Allah will give you place in heaven, in Jannah. Yeah. So much encouragement we have in Islam to show, to express, you know, this kind of love and respect to others. Not only this, Zahra, even in looking, you know, he used to look equally. That is again respect. Like if I'm looking to only one, my companion or friend, and I'm ignoring other one, you know, and a bit maybe that person feel a bit unheard, you know, how much really he was a rahmatul alamin. So we should be careful about our, you know, looks towards our children, if we have 2, 3, or we have, you know, brothers, sister, friends. So how much it is important. And then he used to say that don't belittle Muslim, because the least of them are great in the eyes of Allah. So none of them, even not our Prophet. I was crossing in my you know, near to my house, there's a street, and that street they have put this hadith, and every day I'm reading that hadith. So beautiful. They are saying that Imam Hussein alayhi salam, he said that it is the adab, it is the manner of for Muslim, that whenever he comes out from his house and he meet and he see the people, he should you know, consider them greater than himself. Like whoever you are watching in street and outside the house, you should consider that all of them are better than you, greater than you in the eyes of Allah. So it's so beautiful. Like it's remain in my, you know, mind always, and really I give respect to others, and I say I have to be. I don't know how I will end up, my life will end up, and
Right.
how that person is. And even right now, I don't know about that person's heart. So this kind of respect and love from heart, and that not only in heart, but also we
Also
have
show
to
it
show.
physically, right?
Yeah.
So these are sorry to interrupt, but these are one of the very important points, the social points, how to treat with people, or to treat people in society, socially, because we see in other countries, like in the Western countries, we see the akhlaq, but it's from the non-Muslims. Like when you see people on the street, they would just give you a smile, or but this is the akhlaq of our ai actually, that to treat people on the street as better than you, so giving them more respect, or treating
Yes,
them
yes,
with
yes,
respect,
yes, yes.
looking at them with respectful eyes.
Yes. But I don't think so. Before I used to think that, yeah, maybe in some countries they are better in akhlaq, but we know that sometimes definitely, but most of the times they show their akhlaqs just for some their own personal benefit, like like they have to smile during their job and their whatever they want to do, and sometimes the smiles is artificial. And even Zahra, about namaz, we have again beautiful example from our prophet, that once he was reciting again Salatul Jama'ah, and it was Zohar namaz, and the last 2 rakat of namaz, he did very faster, as he like when people asked that why you have recited very faster, so he said you didn't hear the scream or the cry of the child, ama sami'tum surah as-sabi, like one of the like praying mother child was crying. So that's why he couldn't bear that crying. And sometimes we see nowadays we mothers, they are talking and sometimes the child is crying and they are not giving that much importance to the child. So and sometimes he's praying faster, and sometimes he prolong
Slows
his
down the namaz,
his
right.
sajda because of child. So
Yes,
both are
right.
because of child. And to showing the love, we have this again beautiful example of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Like he was talking to Imam Hassan, and he's saying wajadtuka ba'di bal wajadtuka kulli hatta ka'anna shay'an law aswabaka aswabani. Like we should show our love like this, like how I used to say from hadith kisa, how Lady Fatima Zahra salamullah alayha, how she is calling,
She's addressing her children with
addressing
those nice
and
terms.
so we should say like my honey and my love, and I don't know
The apple
how
of
the
my
apple,
eye,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
The coolness of
whatever
my
is
heart,
common,
and
yeah.
those things, right?
So here Imam Ali alayhi salam is saying that Hassan, I feel you are the part of my body, part of me, but no, you are my whole existence. But if something happened on you, some kind of difficulty, I feel it's happened on me. We are one. So
So you
this
feel the pain of each other.
each other. So they are feeling, and even all parents, but they
Yes.
don't show it. So showing is very important. And again, one thing I want to again share with you is they say that about the orphan children, how our Imam Ali alayhi salam, he was like it was so common that he used to give the money of Baitul Mal, he used to distribute between the people, and sometimes he used to distribute the honey. But again, look at the psychology of our Imam, that he would again put the children in his arms, and he used to feed them by his hands the honey.
The honey.
So the companions, when they would watch this beautiful scene, they would wish that we wish we were orphans, like how
Get
much
so much love from the
love
Imam.
from Imam Ali. Because when they asked that why you are giving that much love, he said, I'm giving honey to all of you, and money to all of you, and this is physical help, but these orphan people, they don't have that spiritual love, and they have somehow they're missing that spiritual,
The lack in there.
yeah. So I'm giving that to them, the both spiritual and physical food, which is so beautiful, like how much they are exact, and they are so sensitive and accurate about giving and showing the love and respect to each other. And that's why they said that like how much this showing love is important. That's why sometimes we, even in adulthood, we have seen that so many people, they make them sick, like to get attention of others.
This is one of the qualities of children, I feel, but even the adults do it.
Yeah. Like how much they need this this.
Even in that age, they need that love. So imagine the children.
Yes.
Much.
In soul food, the love is. But again, everything needs limits. If we are emphasizing a lot about expression of love, definitely we are not saying that do it extremely means. Sometimes some parents, they do love, but they constantly interfering to their children's job, like they're saying don't do this, don't do that, because I love you, I'm always with you, and so much interfering that Imam said no.
And where is the limit then? Because sometimes you might be living in a not very safe place, you might be outside, you do want to make sure your child is safe. So should you let the child experience some of the less unsafe things, or because they have to be guided, right?
Yes, that everything is very logical. If they need kind of in that kind of special situation is different. But some mothers are
overly protective,
they do extremely protection of their child. That's
because
why
I think the child should be left to learn some things on their own,
in
to experience
safe environment,
right.
in safe environment. Definitely. Imam Ali alayhi salam, he said al-ifrat fil malama yashubbu niran al-lajaj, like do not order or forbid your child too much, as this lead them towards rebellious behavior. Because if you just because sometimes they do because of love, like don't do this, because I love you, I want to show, I want to be with you, so don't say so much. Inshallah, this hadith goes to the next stage, which we will discuss inshallah furthermore. But here also we can apply this hadith, this 0 to 7 one.
So this is all part of actually character building of the child, to not to forbid them too much from doing an action which might not be so harmful to the child. So one of the ways of respecting them, or to giving them their own freedom in life.
Definitely. And then again, sorry, I'm taking so much your time, but if there is time, I want to say some more examples.
I think it will be just a few minutes before
again they are saying that whenever a prophet used to come back from his journey, because he has done so many journeys,
right.
So the child of Medina and Mecca, that city, they were desperately waiting for love,
to welcome the prophet. Right.
And when prophet used to come, and they all used to get gather, and hadith says that prophet would he used to take the child in his arms and carry them on his back, not only Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein. So that's why he's saying play, let them play, and play with them, because it is so important. And not only him, he used to say to his companion that I'm carrying this child, you carry that others, and play with them. And he's teaching literally so much. He's giving importance to this. And then he says hadith, he is again saying how many ahadith we have.
There's something that says that you should act with the child like a child, because I think that's one of the qualities Allah loves.
Yes.
Because if you have a child, you have to play with them as if you are a child. Go back to your childhood.
Yes. Otherwise, you can't be get connected with that your child, and you can't be a friend with him. And I think this just play. Let them play. This sentence, that how hadith have emphasized it about it, and we can't understand it. It's not easy to understand that. Let them play, like, because sometimes we don't and we don't realize that what kind of disturbance we are
Bring it
doing.
to the,
Yeah.
but I would like to say that sometimes even the play is so much it's so selfish that the parents put, because the play is not like the child wants, it's like forced play. You want the child to learn this, so you give him this choice. It's not the child's own free will
Okay, yeah,
to decide that
yeah.
I want to play this or I want to play that. They're restricted even in play, even when they're young
Yeah,
at
yeah,
school.
yeah.
They're
It's not
restricted.
just,
Now
yeah.
just play with this toy. So it's like forced.
That's why Islam says 0 to 7. You can't force them. Let them play freely, and and if you play with them, if you make yourself down
To their level,
to
bring
their
yourself
level,
to their
yeah,
level.
they will try to
Rise to
rise
your
themselves
level.
to your level. They will learn. It is the
It is
true,
very logical,
yeah,
the point that you just
yes,
said.
yes. And that's why hadith says, if you make happy and brings a calmness towards your child, hadith says about the girl, so you will get the sawab of freeing one slave from the line of Hazrat Ismail. If you make happy your son, then Allah will give you the reward of the eyes who get fear in the way of Allah. But really, we don't give that much respect to about, especially in their play time, because sometimes the child is playing, yeah, and the guest, if they have come to your house, so sometimes if the girl is changing her doll's clothes, so we say, keep it here and come and say salam to the guest. So that is a big insult, and not giving importance, not letting them play, because their playing is more organized than our even job, and whatever they are doing, however they are putting their toys, everything is according to one wisdom and hikmah, and there are some things
It's
like
the planning that they're doing in their
beautiful
minds,
planning,
right?
and they are
And it's one
learning
of the
their
basic
so many skills
in
yeah.
their understanding,
Yes,
right?
yes.
In their building up.
And we don't understand it. It's so hard to understand. It's very challengeable, to give them support to play,
Because our Islam has given us so many points about what we have today as a subject of child psychology, which is a very deep and interesting topic. And I see usually the younger generation, the new graduates, going towards that topic, because obviously if you understand your children, you can always make your world and your future better, because in our children are the leaders for tomorrow. So with this, our Alima, I'm sorry, we'll have to because there is no more time, but inshallah this topic of play that you started is an interesting one, and definitely we'd like to continue more on this next week, inshallah. So for our viewers, inshallah, do stay in tune, because we have this interesting topic of play coming up in more details. But for today, we had the points of love and respect, and see and learn from the lives of our Prophet, that how he used to treat the children, not only his own children but all the other children. So for us, it's a big lesson, and we should definitely take all these points and apply them in our life to have better children for tomorrow. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.